Gentlemen, Sunday, April 25th, 8 p.m. This is Universal Sports Gamer Radio, Week 2 for Season 1 of MLB 10, The Show. Got some good items coming your way this evening. To start off, a little bit of housekeeping. Just a reminder, we're only playing games 1 through 5 this week. Week 2, playing games 1 through 5 on your schedule. Speaking of schedule, make sure to enter your schedule in on League Daddy. Not all of you have done that. For those of you who can get into the MLB 10 The Show online system and access the schedule, please go ahead and keep working on your schedule. If you have any updates or changes or deletions, send me an email, let me know, and we will make it right. Also, please continue to leave feedback. It can be found on our league page on universalsportsgamer.com on the right-hand side. Also have made a decision with the playoffs. Six teams from both the American League and 6 teams from the National League will make the playoffs. I felt as though a deeper playoff race would allow our members to stay engaged longer, which makes a better league. I will come in to talk about how pitching rotation and all that will work at a later date. All series in the postseason will be best of 5. I repeat, all series in the postseason will be best of 5. Much more to come regarding the playoffs later this year. One quick note on pitching. Just a reminder, do not pitch one after another. None of that quick pitch. We don't need to have a 3-hour game, but at the same time, don't be humming them in there the second the ball gets back to your pitcher. Take a second or two, especially when you have an opponent on base. Let's give your opponent a chance to get settled in. We've had a few comments come in regarding that. Nothing much, nothing crazy, but just something I want you to put aware of. Just slow it down a little bit. A little bit of news also on the scheduling front. I've rearranged the forums. When you go to schedule a game, you will see every team's name listed in there. So, for example, if you are playing the Rangers, go into the Rangers forum and drop a note in there. The previous method that I had illy devised wasn't working too well, because there was just so many posts, so many games, so many posts. So now what you do, if your team, go into the other team, put a message in there. Also within your team name, you can list your availability. That way we only have 22 threads, and it'll be easier to monitor, easier to look over. This week's going to the bullpen, and for going forward, each week I'll throw a few guys to the bullpen. This week, the White Sox, A's, and Braves from the Universal Sports Gamer. You 3 are going to the bullpen. You didn't get any games done this week. I've been in communication with all of you, and I know there's been a few hang-ups here with getting hooked up with some of the other guys and even disconnects. I know the A's and Braves both had one. The White Sox, you've been in communication with me, so I appreciate that. But this week's Carlos Zambrano going to the bullpen, goes to the White Sox, A's, and Braves. Complete your games, guys, but remember, only required to get into a week. Let's move on to some Who's Hot around USG Season 1. Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers, 24 strikeouts, a Major League Baseball record in his debut. Also, Aaron Hill of the Blue Jays, batting .476, 6 runs scored, 10 hits on the young season, leading the resurgent Blue Jays to great things. Also, Ryan Howard and Albert Pujols, the Big Boppers. Keep it hot. They both have a pair of blasts leading their respective teams. How about the Who's Nots? The Who's Nots Hots of the week, Ryan Ludwig, batting a .154. A .154 for Sobey and the Birds. Marlon Byrd, as he goes by Fishbird to some, batting .083. And Rich Harden, 7 earned runs in 4 innings pitched, only 2 strikeouts. Wah, wah, wah. Ludwig, Bird, and Harden, you are not hot. Moving on, the Commissioner's Power Poll, the top 5. At number 5, the Cardinals. With victories over Texas and Boston, the Cardinals sit at 2-1. Number 4 in the Commissioner's Power Poll, the Baltimore Orioles. A 19-run victory earlier this week, just piling it on over there in Baltimore. A dark horse there with the Birds. At number 3, the Dodgers. With a pair of victories over the Brewers and the Mariners, the Dodgers sitting pretty in the Commissioner's Power Poll at number 3. Holding the number 2 spot, the Phillies. And at number 1, the Blue Jays. Blue Jays and Phillies combined for 8-0 in the first week of play, have outscored their opponents by 29 runs. Big matchups coming up for this week. A couple big showdowns. Dodgers and Orioles in a big showdown between number 3 and number 4 in the Commissioner's Power Poll. The Yankees, who are kind of flying under the radar a little bit, but they're getting it done with some nice victories. Their owner is a guy who you can't just take for granted, along with those powerful bats they got in those lineups. So the Yankees and Dodgers, and the Phillies and the Cubs. The Cubs playing a little bit of ball, also somewhat flying under the radar, but Tuna Sam, 2-1. He is in the midst of a one-game losing streak, though, but you can't look past Tuna Sam. Also, just so you all know, we will open up registration for Season 2. Again, in order to improve the website and keep more features coming your direction, we need to bring in more membership. So if anybody knows anyone that would like to get involved with our Season 2 version, even if any of you would like to get involved with Season 2, it'll be run very similar to Season 1, and we hope to get that up and going here in the next week. And finally, the last word of Week 1, just a quick shout-out to fellow owner Machiavelli. We know you've got a health thing you're fighting through right now, but just let you know, we're thinking about you, we're pulling for you, we're putting a prayer or two in for you, and wish you the best of luck on the road to recovery, and hope to see you out swinging the sticks sometime soon. But that's a wrap-up right now for Week 2 USG Radio for Season 1. Much more to come. Please continue to schedule your games. Reminder, only games 1 through 5 this week. Let's try to get everybody kind of caught up and equal. Other than that, as always, hit me up with some questions if you have any way I can help you. I'm very responsive via email, as you all know, and keep a lookout. We will have a new owner for the Giants coming in soon. So once that is announced, please get at them with any games and heads up, and if there's any way you can help out. Other than that, have a great week, fellas. Thank you for playing at UniversalSportsGamer.com, MLB 10, the show.